brother-in-law quietly opens the door and asks, "Sister-in-law, is my brother at home?" Sister-in-law replies with a faint smile, "He's not here. Come in quickly." The brother-in-law says happily, "Good thing he's not here." "Sister-in-law, look what I brought." Sister-in-law says with a mischievous smile, "You knew today was my birthday, right? Did you bring this for the party?" The brother-in-law says flatteringly, "Of course. How could I be your brother-in-law and not take care of that? That's impossible. Honestly, I've been missing you a lot these days. If my brother were home, I wouldn't have dared to come." Sister-in-law calmly says, "Stop the nonsense. Get to the point." The brother-in-law says softly, "I heard the demolition money for the house has been received. The weather is getting very cold, and it's hard to take the child to tuition. I can manage, but the child can't. So I need a loan of more than $300,000 so I can buy a second-hand car." Sister-in-law says startled, "More than $300,000? All right, fine. The demolition amount was $1.5 million. I wanted to keep that money for the company, but since you need it, I'll give it to you. But proper accounting is necessary. You'll have to write a loan agreement. Understood?" The brother-in-law immediately says, "Of course." Sister-in-law hands him a notebook and says, "Write it clearly so I can answer your brother later." The brother-in-law confidently replies, "Don't worry, I'll write it very clearly." After writing the loan agreement, he hands it over and says, "Sister-in-law, please take a look." While reading it, sister-in-law says, $400,000 to be returned after 6 months. "Fine. I withdrew this money from the bank today. Come on, count it." Taking the money, the brother-in-law says emotionally, "We're one family. What's the need to count it? I trust you completely." At that moment, the secretary walks in and says, "Boss, the board meeting has started. Please come." Hearing this, sister-in-law leaves. The brother-in-law, nervous but clever, tears out the page and replaces it. Sometime later, the brother-in-law returns and says, "I apologize about the money I borrowed. I said I'd return it in 6 months, but a year has passed. Here, take the money." Smiling sister-in-law says, "I don't take interest from you. It's fine. Return it whenever you have the full amount." Suddenly startled, the brother-in-law says, "This is the full amount, $40,000. You can count it." Sadly, sister-in-law says, "You said you needed to buy a car for the child. $400,000. Remember?" Defensively, the brother-in-law replies, "Think about our situation. How could I buy a $400,000 car? There's a huge difference between $40,000 and $400,000. I would never cause you a loss." Helplessly, sister-in-law says, "How can $400,000 turn into $40,000? Firmly, the brother-in-law says, "We eventually bought an $8,000 car. If you don't believe me, go downstairs and check. I've always lived frugally. You know that." In a soft voice, his wife says, "We're not wasteful people." Calmly, the brother-in-law says, "If you believe you gave $400,000, then let's look at the loan agreement." Confidently, sister-in-law says, "This is the same notebook. I had it written myself." She suddenly stops. "This says $40,000. Where did the $400,000 go?" Gently, the brother-in-law says, "Sister-in-law, I only took $40,000. We're family. Why would I lie?" In a strong voice, sister-in-law says, "I am a businesswoman. I believe in honesty. What's written should be the truth. Friends, you tell me, did he take $400,000 from me?"